Hello, everyone. So welcome to the kickoff meeting between Jennifer and Ben. Benjamin will be mentoring the test scope for the mentorship in Node.js. Basically, our agenda for this meeting, AJ shared it in the links in the chat. So we're going to start with a brief introduction for mentorship, the process, duration, and the graduation process. Also, after that, we would like for Ben to introduce the scope he's going to be mentoring at, he's mentoring in, and then we're going to have you two chat about the expectations, goals, and availabilities. Then we're going to go over the code of conduct and whether you'll be recording the sessions and stuff like that. Before we start, I would like to introduce everyone. So my name is Ahmed. I'm in the mentorship team. AJ, if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm AJ. I'm also on the mentorship team, and I'm pretty much just working full-time on open source right now and job hunting. So
awesome. Jennifer?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Bland. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm a developer for Stanley Black & Decker. I guess that's it.
Awesome. Benjamin?
Hey, I'm Ben. I work for NPM Incorporated, who makes the NPM package manager, and I've been involved with the mentorship program, and I contributed to Node, and I'm excited to help more people get on board.
Yeah. We're excited to have you both. Thank you for participating. Okay, so just a brief intro about the mentorship. Do you like to introduce the mentorship process, AJ, or you want me to?
I'll let you do it.
Okay. So basically, this is the first round in mentorship. The goal is to hopefully have Jennifer become a mentor in the next rounds if she finds this, if she has the time and stuff like that. The first round is this round is going to be for 1 month only. It's a beta round. Basically, we need lots of feedback from you to iterate over the project and make it a better experience for everyone. The process is as the following. Basically, after the kickoff meeting, you're gonna agree on the a goal to achieve during the mentorship program, and after that, you'll also choose when you're available so you can meet and start achieving milestones. The only requirement needed for the mentorship as a program is to have an issue on GitHub in the mentorship repo called the mentorship diary. Basically, just to record the interactions between you both, record milestones. If you record the videos, submit links to the recordings, and the kickoff meeting basically as well. The reason for this is two things. Mainly because all the moderation tools in the Node.js project are revolved around GitHub. So this way we have, in case of escalation or anything that happens, we have a moderation team, they can step in and help us out. And also, it will be a great resource for other people that want to get started to look at the mentorship diaries between different people in scopes and hopefully join mentorship or join the scopes they're looking at. Also, it will be beneficial for both of you, as a place to track progress and milestones. Yeah, also, we don't have Nick on the call. I believe he'll join us later. So Nick is our education assistant. He'll be gathering feedback from both of you, and He'll be contacting you after the meeting, introducing himself, and also you can reach us, me, AJ, and also you can reach Dan or Ajiri on Slack or on the email or GitHub issue. So that's all for the introduction. Do you have any questions or thoughts?
None yet.
Did you mention the graduation part?
Yeah. So basically, the first round, we don't have any like graduation process. We don't have it at hand. Hopefully, like in the next rounds, we'll go retroactively. Like maybe we'll have some swag around this, hopefully. The goal for the graduation for this round is hopefully to have you both on board as mentors in the next round. And that's it for the graduation.
And you said it would lasted for 1 month, or is it going to be the full 6 months?
For the beta round, it's going to be only 1 month. At the moment, we have around 20 mentors from the or less than 20 mentors from the Node.js project. And we have over 800 mentees. So the gap is really huge. So we're hoping for the first round to increase the momentum of the project by having more people from the Node.js to become mentors. So hopefully, like if you find this enjoyable and you have the time, Jennifer, you'll join the Node.js team and the mentorship team and mentor in the next rounds. If you find this suitable, of course, it's not like something you have to do.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. I'd like from Benjamin to like introduce the scope, the testing scope, just give us a brief introduction and what do you have in mind for the round, the mentorship.
Yeah, sure. So since it is a somewhat since it is a somewhat shortened mentorship process, I don't know, it really depends on how deep we want to go into the testing scope. For starters, Jennifer, like have you compiled Node before and kind of played around with the code base a little bit?
No, not in detail. I'm an active user on it, but I haven't gone into the code base yet.
Cool. So I think a good start, regardless of scope, would be just to kind of do a pairing session and get the code base up and running and show just how you compile and kind of almost do what we do with when you're bringing a new Node contributor on, is just kind of explain a few nooks and crannies of the code base, how the test suite runs, how you build it. Just make sure we're that far along for the first working session or two. And then the testing scope, few options there. I mean, we could start, some of the unit tests are pretty crufty and there's a lot of different methodologies being used throughout the unit tests in the suite that could be cleaned up. So there's some really low-hanging fruit, I think, for refactoring some of the tests. The other thing that interests me, though, is there's some work we could dig into around test coverage and how we approach instrumenting the code base to report test coverage for JavaScript, which is something I've been working on over the past few months. So if we want to take on a bigger project, there's some options. If we want to start really simple, there's also some options around just refactoring the tests, which I think is a great way to kind of get a feel for the code base. I think there are probably also some areas we could also look at the test coverage reports for JavaScript and find some parts of the code base that are missing coverage, and that can be another fun way to dive into if we can try to get us even a little closer to 100% coverage in some parts of the code base. So a few options available, have a few scopes. So it really depends on how deep we want to go in the 1 month and whether it's okay that a project extends out past the month if we take on one of the bigger projects. So hopefully that explains stuff. But the basic goal of the testing group is to improve tests throughout the code base, make them more maintainable, and increase coverage on the overall application. Hopefully that's sufficient.
Yeah, that's good. I'll mention that it is fine for you to go beyond the 1 month if you decide that Jennifer, you're comfortable in the test working group and that's a good fit for you. It's just a minimum requirement for the two of you to meet for a month. But obviously, Benjamin will still be part of the working group and available to some level for help. If you can just get as comfortable as you can in that 1 month, and then you're welcome to continue working on whatever you two are working on beyond that. So, especially since there's no real graduation, there's no like milestone to reach. It's just try to get as far as you can with what you're interested in doing.
Okay. I think it would be good to, continue on with it in testing in that scope instead of going to a different one, because like you say, the goal is to take your initial like 18 people and then make that 36 and then, basically go on from that standpoint. It would be very foolish for me to, after 1 month, to have a non-graduation graduation, and then go into another area which I don't know anything about, because how can I mentor somebody in something I don't know? So I think starting off, working with Benjamin with getting to get the testing up, being able to write tests, doing, like he said, the code coverage, like low-hanging fruit, something that we can easily do within a month time frame. Because if we're meeting once a week or twice a week, we're only talking about 4 or 8 meets that we can get together. And then after that, then I can take that information and then start, growing the list of, people that, like myself, that apply to be a mentee, and move them from that transition from mentee to mentor, to be able to do that. And then ultimately down the road, once we get that going, if there's an opportunity to move into another area to learn about it, that's great. But I think in the beginning, I think I should stay where I am so that I can share that knowledge with others after, that 1 month of working with Benjamin. So that's that.
Yeah, makes sense. I was wondering, like I have a few questions myself about the tests. Basically, do you do any regular meetings in the working group? And if so, can Jennifer attend those meetings? Maybe she can get a feel about how those meetings happen, what's discussed in them, and stuff like that.
Hey, yeah, I haven't been to any working group. I haven't been to any specific meetings for the working group yet. We can hunt one down. For the most part, it's a mailing list where you'll occasionally get flagged throughout the month if a test is being troublesome. So you will get some into your mailbox. You will get some good things that you can bring work in to investigate. Like it will be, this test seems to be flaky again. What's going on here? And so we can actually find some projects that way where we just keep an eye on what's flowing in with that tag. But I haven't actually been to a meeting for that working group yet. Mm-hmm. You can try to hunt one down though.
Okay. Yeah, so Jennifer, do you have any questions about the scope?
No, I think it would be, I think I've got a pretty good idea of what we want to accomplish. I know what I want to accomplish out of it is to be able to transition from a mentee to mentor so I can contribute from that standpoint. And then it's just a matter of making sure I understand everything, through Benjamin's, tutoring, and just go from there.
Okay, awesome. So I believe this covers also the goals and expectations, since basically we're gonna start targeting the low-hanging fruits coverage and some refactors, stuff like that, and also in the first few meetings you're gonna get the project started and run the tests on your machine. I believe this is sensible. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, that sounds quite reasonable to me. I think I even have a few one thing I have in mind is even just looking around and seeing if we can find a few tests that could dry it up a little bit. Because I always notice this when I dive into the code bases that you'll see the same 15 lines of code to stand up a test all over the place. So I think there's some pretty low-hanging fruit that is semi-fun that we can dive into. So I'm excited about that. And I do think like it takes greater than 0 hours to get the code base up and running potentially. So given how short of our mentorship period is, this sounds like smart to not bite off too much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Since we're like testing a prototype of the whole process, like I'd love if you both, like when you create the mentorship diary, create the issue, just to have like an initial draft of the goals we've set right now, just to have like a little bit of tracking and to get better feedback on the actual process. It's also good to have like milestones that you want to reach and track the progress on those milestones.
Even if we don't actually take the work on, if you are interested in kind of the test coverage end of stuff, Jennifer, are you still hearing me? It's saying my internet connection's unstable. I think it's back.
Yeah.
If you are interested in the test coverage end of things, Jennifer, I might include you. I've been having some conversations with one of the maintainers who works at Google about getting Google's test coverage brought into the Node project. So it might be fun to have you join that meeting because it might help it get some momentum. So that might not even be a programming task. That might be here's how we communicate with each other on the Node project kind of task. So that might be fun, a little different than programming. But I think that the test coverage work I want to do is beyond the scope of our 1 month. So we can talk about that in chat too.
All right. So then going forward, what's the best way for us to communicate? Would it be through email, through Slack? Okay.
Yeah, I like Slack. I have the Node.js Slack on both my home computer and my work computer. So if you're okay with that, that's a great way to get a hold of me. And then we can have semi-frequent conversations, which is nice. If you want to set any boundaries, like please don't talk to me during these hours because it distracts me at work, or if it's fine that Slack is asynchronous, just let's figure out what works well for ourselves. I don't mind getting chat messages throughout the day because I can just ignore them until I have a little bit of a break at work, but just decide what works well for you.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on the Slack part, because if I'm in the middle of a meeting or something like that, I won't be checking it. But then afterwards, I can always get back to you. And the same for you on that end too.
That works well for me. I guess I kind of like to be able to write down my thoughts while they're forming. So that works really nicely for me.
All right. And also like, I feel like this is like, since it's going to introduce the testing project and stuff like that, it would be really beneficial like if you record the meetings. I'm not sure, like since like some of the stuff is not going to happen through meetings, but if you can like record the meetings and post them on on the comments as YouTube links, for example, or Dropbox, do you mind doing that? Or
so do we have to have a paid Zoom account to record, or does Zoom allow free people to record, free accounts?
It does allow free recording, but up to 40 minutes.
40 or 4?
Yeah.
Okay, 4. Okay.
It's reasonable. This is actually a free account.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We could just use QuickTime and record if we start a new video while we're on a Zoom chat.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no requirements as to how to create the video. We just prefer that it ends up on YouTube somewhere or another, so that you can link to it in the mentorship repo.
If we have any sessions where we don't embarrass ourselves too much, taking 4 hours to get 4 lines of code working, which I know is my life sometimes.
Everything is at your own discretion. Anything either of you is uncomfortable sharing is obviously, you don't have to share it. It's this is the whole idea of the recordings is again because of the great disparity between mentors and mentees. We've got over 800 people just sitting around waiting. So it'd be nice if they have videos they can watch and learn something from while they're waiting for the active involvement.
Cool. I think we'll have some definite kind of specific targeted working sessions that would make good videos, like Let's Get Node working.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, do you use Windows or Linux, or what's your home like?
I have a Mac computer. I don't use Windows, don't use Linux, but I have a Mac computer that I use at work that I basically also use at home. And it's the old MacBook Pro 15-inch. It doesn't have one of those little weird ass bars at the top. That's why I don't buy a new one, because I don't like that thing yet. So, and then when it comes to doing videos, we can record things, and then if necessary, I can go in and edit it to cut things out if needed, because I do, I know a little bit about video editing. I'm not very strong at it, but I know enough to do it. And I have a YouTube channel on there already with like over 500 people, that have followed my channel. So it's something that I can put up there, and, as long as Benjamin and I are both comfortable with it, and we can put it out there. I can do it private. He can review it. And if everything's okay, then we can release it to the public, so that we have that as a mechanism for people to follow through on the process.
That sounds great to me.
Awesome. If you wish, I can upload this this recording on Dropbox and send it to you if you want to have a series, playlists for all the recordings.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Awesome. Okay, and I believe the last thing that we have to go through is the privacy and code of conduct. Basically, we discussed the recording of the sessions. I just want to link to the code of conduct of nodes. So basically, our standards in Node is just to use inclusive language and be respectful to each other. Also, in case of anything that happens, as I told you, you can contact any one of us. We also have the moderation team, and also there's a mailing list. Also, Nick will be following up with you for feedback. So about the mentorship program itself, and also about your experience in the mentorship program. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
One thing I should have mentioned a few minutes ago during the video portion, recording part of the conversation, was if you know there's something you're not going to want to share, you could mimic what we do in Node, which is to have a private session at the end. You could just stop the recording and save the things you know you aren't going to want to share to save you a little bit of editing time.
Okay.
So basically that's it. That's the agenda for the kickoff meeting. Do you have any thoughts or questions?
I have one question, is putting together the stuff to put in for our mentorship diary. Do I have the rights to be able to submit, a pull request on there to include it? Or do I just need to write it up and send it to Benjamin and have him do it because he has access?
Let me give you an example about diary, a mentorship diary.
I posted it in the chat, issue 79.
Okay. Hi, Nick.
You're muted, Nick.
Oh, go ahead.
So basically, just like the mentorship diary is.
Nick is still talking. He's no longer muted in Zoom, but I think your computer is muted.
Okay.
Now I can hear
you.
you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Cool. Much better.
Okay, can you, like I told them about you, Nick, but it would be nice to introduce yourself to everyone.
Yeah, sure. I'm actually joining this program as an education assistant. I will basically help collect feedbacks from both mentors and mentees, and and try hopefully to improve as we iterate on the program for the next rounds. To improve the program for the next round. I am joining this program because as an education assistant, because I talked at different universities in France. I'm from France. I'm based in Paris, and various online programs. And I also took online programs as a student. So I'm gonna try to have like both views and bring what I've seen both as a teacher and as a student. As far as my technical knowledge is involved, I am probably far from your level of Node, all you guys. So I'm gonna try to really help on the education kind of area.
Good deal.
Thank you, Nick.
So that's a curiosity. Ahmed and AJ, where are you guys located?
I'm in Georgia as well. I'm in a little town called Milledgeville right now, but I'm actually looking for work in Atlanta, so I may
Excellent.
be near you soon.
Very good.
I'm from Jerusalem, Palestine, and the Middle East.
Cool.
I'm from Oakland, California. But I'm from Toronto, Canada, but I've been in Oakland for quite a while.
Awesome.
To answer your earlier question, though, Jennifer, the diary is just an issue. It's not like a document, so you can just comment on it. There's no PRing to do or anything.
Okay, perfect.
If you want to submit a PR, that's also you're welcome. You have like the right as anyone else to submit pull requests, open issues, comment on issues, and get involved as you wish. We also have bi-weekly meetings for the mentorship team for everyone if you wish to join. We discuss basically things about the process in mentorship. So if you want to jump in and contribute to that, you're more than welcome. So I believe you exhausted the agenda. I'm sorry, Nick, you came like in the last minute. But it's
Don't worry.
Yeah.
It was done like that.
Yeah. Nick will be talking with you after the meeting on Slack. And also, like, you can speak with us again.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I believe that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.